let's talk about misinformation in the gaming landscape, because at this point things got way out of control. And the real victims here are the gamers. Gamers are the ones getting misinformed, and gamers, you know what? I really don't like using the term gamers. I want to say people. So people don't even know what's real news anymore and what's fake. Let's get into it. Assassin's Creed Shadows under investigation in Japan for the 5th time. Sure, the grifters won't touch this, but let me break it down real quick. Just 48 hours ago, I covered the story. This time, it's about a scene where players can destroy the Itate Hyozu Shrine, which is an actual real-life location. The backlash was so big that the shrine's representatives are now saying they'll take appropriate action against Ubisoft. What that actually means, no one knows yet. According to a report from Sankei News via Automaton, the shrine reps confirmed that Ubisoft never contacted them before putting the location in the game. And when asked if they would have given permission, they flat out said no. If there had been, they would have refused. Now, obviously, this has sparked a huge debate online. Some people are saying it's disrespectful to Japanese culture and that destroying a real-world shrine shouldn't even be an option in the game. Others argue that it's just part of player freedom. Like, yeah, you can do it, but that doesn't mean you have to. Then, of course, there are the people bringing up past Assassin's Creed games, like how you literally fistfight the Pope in AC2, or how religious sites have been featured and attacked in the series for years without this kind of reaction. And honestly, it's a bit of a weird situation. Whether you're a journalist or just someone with a big following, it's your responsibility to set the record straight. If you get something wrong, you own up to it. Saying, "I was wrong," or "I had bad info" isn't just good manners. It's a duty. Doesn't matter what you call yourself, journalist, gamer, just a guy. Once you hit that 100K to 1 million follower range, you've got influence. And spreading bad info, that can have real consequences. I'm no lawyer, but some of these influencers skating by right now, they might not dodge legal trouble forever. Like, remember Uncle Ben from Spider-Man? With great power comes great responsibility. Can't believe I'm quoting him here, but it fits. For the last year and a half, the gaming community has been a mess. I've talked to creators who are scared to even mention the games they like because they know a mob will come after them. I've watched Discord groups form just to spread lies and trash developers. It's wild, and it's all right there. No secret sources needed. Look, I've got my issues with the gaming industry too. Game optimization is slipping, Nvidia is messing with GPU prices, and broken games keep launching like it's normal. Then people act surprised when they're a disaster. It's because we're not focusing on the real problems. And of course, anyone trying to call this stuff out gets labeled Sony Pony, Xbot, whatever the insult of the week is. But you don't need to be an insider to spot the BS. I've spent 10 years in direct sales, recruiting, and managing. You learn to see the nonsense a mile away. This isn't about defending Ubisoft or Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's about making sure people don't get played. And trust me, I know these games. If you check out channels like Giraptor, Master Assassin, The Hidden One, or Luke Stevens, you'll notice something interesting. Ubisoft's official trailers are flooded with dislikes and negative comments. But over on these gaming channels, totally different vibe. People there are actually hyped. A lot of the discussion is about how good the combat animations look, especially for Naoe. One of the most common requests? A headgear toggle. Players think it adds to the roleplay and want Ubisoft to include the option. Comments range from defending the right to form their own opinions to calling out those who trash the game without trying it. Some are serious, others are just having fun talking about what they like or don't. A lot of people are excited about Naoe and her fast assassin-like playstyle. Others just want to see the game's world and mechanics in action. The overall tone, cautious optimism. There's controversy around how the game handles cultural elements, but a lot of players still plan to buy it. The excitement is real. So why the massive gap between Ubisoft's official channel and independent YouTubers?
Money! Get back!
The answer's simple. They went too far. They're calling everything woke now. There are 3 massive upcoming games they've slapped the label on: Assassin's Creed Shadows, The Witcher 4, and Grand Theft Auto 6. And they're not just throwing out a video or two. Their entire channel is built on this, calling games woke, creating fake leaks, making up fake insiders. They've been caught so many times, it's embarrassing. But the real issue? Desperation. Right now, they're cranking out 2 to 3 videos a day, trying to convince everyone these games are garbage. Why? Because if they fail at at that. If these games succeed, their whole channel dies. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to succeed. This isn't some video thrown together in an hour. It's the result of watching hundreds of hours of AC Shadows content and Let's Plays, reading all the comments from actual YouTubers. At this point, they'll say anything to make these games fail. Too bad they never learned not to throw rocks when their own house is made of glass. You've seen how these people operate. They make a comment, wait for a reply, then edit it to make it look like you said something else. These are the people fighting for truth? Are these the gamers fighting for justice? Or are they just a bunch of psychopaths? And one last thing, I'm not getting paid by Ubisoft. I'm not getting a review copy. I'll buy the game with my own money. If the game is broken, I'll say it's broken. I bought Valhalla, hated it. Bought Mirage day one, found it boring. AC Shadows is the first game that's actually interested me in a while. But if it sucks, I'll say it sucks. If I love it, I'll say I love it. I've never spoken to Ubisoft in my life, and even if they offered me a review copy, I wouldn't take it. I want to buy it myself. Feel that sting of regret if it's bad. That's it. Do what you want with this statement. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, they're going deep with themes like memory, identity, and autonomy, making connections between past and present that really matter. And Shadows isn't just another game in the lineup. It's the foundation of this new direction, a new standard for the modern-day storyline, which will evolve with future titles. The game's set in 16th century Japan, a fantastic setting, folks. You'll be playing as two protagonists, Yasuke, a samurai of African origin, and Naoe, a shinobi. Both are members of the Brotherhood, and they're ready to deliver an unforgettable story. Now here's the situation. Ubisoft originally planned a November release for Assassin's Creed Shadows, but they pushed it to February 14th, 2025, after some setbacks, including a rough launch for Star Wars Outlaws. And yes, the game has faced criticism over its launch strategy and even some ugly backlash about Yasuke, a real historical figure who, by the way, was a samurai of African descent. Feudal Japan is packed with detail, varied architecture, lifelike NPC animations, even small things like taking off your shoes indoors. Ubisoft added a wanted system too. Raise an alarm, and it's not just the nearest enemies chasing you, it's the entire region. If things get too chaotic, you can swap characters to escape. Story-wise, Yasuke starts as a slave of the Portuguese before meeting Oda Nobunaga, who sees potential in him. The Animus setup is different this time, using fractured memories to explain why you're only seeing certain moments. Like, the open world is massive. Instead of loading the map with icons, you actually have to explore to find activities. There's a mix of mini-games and narrative-driven side content, archery challenges, meditation exercises, hidden trails. But the real highlight is how each activity fits the character you're playing. Even something like painting animals and turning them into pets for your hideout feels meaningful, not just filler. One surprising change: no animals to fight. Ubisoft says it wouldn't make sense for the time period. Many in Japan believed in reincarnation and avoided killing animals. Bold choice, especially since wildlife encounters were a huge part of previous games. Instead, enemy factions will fight each other dynamically, letting you decide whether to get involved. Combat is where the game really shines. Naoe's Kusarigama has insane range, letting you grab and throw enemies. Yasuke's Kanabo is pure destruction, smashing armor and sending enemies flying with one charged hit. And of course, the hidden blade is back, allowing for double assassinations, if you can actually find two enemies standing close enough. Customization is deeper than ever. Both characters have unique skill trees. Every weapon has its own ability tree. Gear works differently, only 2 pieces per character instead of 5, but the perks are much stronger. Instead of minor stat boosts, you get effects like slowing time when spotted or dealing more damage at low health. There's even an engraving system for extra customization. Loot works a lot like Odyssey. Random drops scale to your level, but legendary items stay unique. One small issue: finding gear for the character you're not playing. It happens a lot, forcing constant inventory checks. Then there's the hideout. It's way more than just a home base. You can fully customize the layout, place buildings, decorate, even adopt animals that roam around. Your allies and recruited NPCs will hang out there too, adding to the sense of progression. Performance-wise, for a pre-launch build, it it was surprisingly polished. A few graphical glitches, some menu bugs, one crash to desktop, but nothing game-breaking. And with the extra development time from the delay to March 20th, there's still room to smooth things out. The biggest takeaway? Giraptor didn't want to stop playing. Some character balance issues, some exploration restrictions, but the dual protagonist system adds a kind of variety that was missing in previous RPG entries. If this is just a taste of what Assassin's Creed Shadows has to offer, the full game might...
My funds! My troops! Gone!
Financial difficulties strike all of us, even those with an army.
You intend to give me money?